right, everybody. So sorry for the internet issues. I bet there's a lot of people hopping on the internet being that we are quarantined at the moment. So I'm going to give everybody a chance to hop back on so that we can continue in what we are doing. All you have to do is refresh your page if this isn't coming up, so hopefully it is. And again, I'm sorry about the technical difficulties. I'm sure there's a lot of people loading on the internet with all the quarantine stuff, right? Okay, so I'll give everybody a few minutes to, again, hop back on. I had to make a little bit of changes. So again, if you are just getting on, if you are new to these videos and all of that, then hop in the comment, let me know how you're doing, let me know where you're coming from, right? We have so many people in the United States, so let me know how you're doing, let me know where you're coming from. Again, I'm super excited for all of this as we get all of these technical difficulties settled. Okay, so what I was saying with the important information for anybody, number one, if you don't have the workbook, to say, hey, James, I don't have it. James will reach out and send it to you via DM. And for everybody hopping on, sorry for the technical difficulties. Again, I believe it's a lot of people hopping on the internet and really slowing it down because a lot of people are stuck inside, right? Okay, so number two. The banner above gives the times of the Heal Your Chakra Intensive, okay? The banner above gives the times of the Heal Your Chakra Intensive. Now, whenever we get to Friday and all the bonuses, that will come up. So the banner will change with the whenever it gets to Friday because we'll have the bonuses. Now, the interesting thing about the bonuses is normally I give you exactly what we're going to be talking about with the bonuses even before we begin the Heal Your Chakras Intensive. This intensive is different because what I am doing and what I've got the guidance to do is to not give what we're going to be talking about in the bonuses just yet. And I truly don't even know what we're doing for the bonuses just yet. I know though, and I've gotten the guidance as to why it's happening like this, is because we're learning how to trust. We're learning how to trust our intuition, and we're learning how to let go of control. So as you see me in my past videos and also continuing, I am doing less and less of preparation and more of going from our heart and saying what is guided. And again, this is because we're learning how to let go of control and begin to trust. This is learning how in that time period, in that moment, we choose from our hearts. This is what we're going into the 5D. So this is how I'm going to be teaching you. Is directly coming from the heart to what is of your highest benefit, to what is of my highest benefit. So again, the bonuses, we don't know what they are yet. Another thing because of that, because we're going by what is guided versus trying to control, okay? The second thing that I wanted to talk about with we don't know what the bonuses are yet is I have a very strong feeling, and I already know this as the guidance, is that the bonuses will also have a lot to do with what's going on in the world today. So it's really highly focused on the here and the now. As you get to know me, if you don't know me already, is that I really work with the shifts that are happening here and now. I really work with what's relevant right now, what's of our highest benefit to talk about, what is of our highest benefit to learn about right now. So this is how we're going to be focusing on the bonuses that are coming up. And for everybody hopping on right now, again, sorry for the technical difficulties. We do, like I said, we do have a lot of people hopping on the internet, being that we are quarantined. So again, sorry for that, and you will be able to come back and catch anything that I've missed so far. These are just the important information that we're going over right now. Now, the videos, all of these videos will be recorded and posted to the group. So if there is a day that you cannot make it, then the video will be recorded and posted to the group, and all of the videos will stay up, and you can find them on the page, or you can find them in the units tab, which is either on the top of your screen or to the left of your screen, the units tab under Heal Your Chakras Intensive. You can find all of the recorded videos there, and watch them whenever you get a chance if you're not able to make one of the videos. Now, the awesome thing about coming live, and I'm going to get into this, is that whoever comes live, so whoever participates, whoever puts their heart into it, there will be prizes given out. So if you come live and then you do the homework at the end, the homework will be posted at the end of this video. All you have to do is hop on the homework, fill it out, so comment below in the homework thread, in the homework post, and you are qualified to win a prize for each day. So today will be an Amazon gift card for $20. That will give you something to do, right? Spend some money, maybe buy some books to read, maybe buy something you can do during this quarantine time. So don't forget to hop on to do the homework. Now, if you want to qualify for the Light Workers Path Acceleration Program, and I can't wait to tell you all about that, then you have to come live for each video and comment in the homework threads for each video for the 5 days Heal Your Chakras Intensive. If you are coming from outside the United States, you have 24 hours to watch the video. You also have to let me know that you do want to qualify for the scholarship. I will keep an eye out for your say hashtag replay and participating in the videos. So whether you're inside of the United States, whether you're outside of the United States, you still have the potential to win the scholarship for the Light Workers Acceleration Program. So with that being said, don't forget the homework at the end of this video. Now, DMs. And guys, we only have a few more of this, and then we're going to really start into the Heal Your Chakras Intensive, which I'm super excited about. Okay. The direct messages, Facebook direct messages. If you have not connected with us, whether it's me, whether it's Kelsey, whether it's James O'Brien, if you have not connected with us yet, then on your computer, you can click Messenger at the top of your Facebook, the little messenger icon. When you click that, it comes down with the list. On the list, it's at the top kind of left of that list, it says message requests, and I'm probably waiting in there if you don't see me in your DM. So that's if you go in from a computer. So you just click that, find me, Kelsey or James O'Brien, and there you go. You can connect with us, okay? Number 2 is if you have your phone, you can go to the Messenger app, click on it, and then you can click your pick at the top left of the Messenger app, and then you can click down on Messenger requests and get to it that way. And the reason why we want to connect with you via DM is that way you have somebody directly that you can connect with in order to really have what you need in order to be successful for this, for the Heal Your Chakras Intensive. I am here, guys, to help you be the most successful. I am here to help walk you through really getting this technique, really learning a lot so that you can step forward and follow your path and follow your heart so that you can do your purpose on this earth. This is why I'm here, and this is what lights up my heart. So those are the 2 ways. If you haven't connected via DM, search those. I talked about the prizes. I talked about the scholarships. If you have any questions, guys, reach out to us. We are here to answer questions. We're here to assist. If you have any questions with any of the parts of the Heal Your Chakras Intensive, if you don't understand something, if you just want clarification, if you want to bring it to another level and ask a question, reach out, comment below. I may not get to your questions in each of the video, but I will go back and answer them. And I also may bring it into the DM if I feel to go further with it. So please reach out. I am here to help assist you throughout this time so that I can really help guide you into stepping in your power, stepping in your shoes, thriving during this hard time, guys. There's a lot of chaos, a lot of panic, and it's hard not to get sucked into that, right? So this is what's here to really help you through this. Now, I will keep you updated on what is happening throughout this bonus round, right? Throughout all of the bonuses, throughout all of the videos. If I get messages that the universe, God, spirits wants me to to let you know, and this is why I'm really going by guidance versus really controlling everything that I say, is so that I can update you with what's going on, with what you need to know, with what you need in order to make those shifts to go forward. This is an amazing time, and again, it's unprecedented, and I'm excited to be here with you, and I'm excited to help guide you with it. Again, if you have not gotten the workbook, reach down below, comment down below. James O'Brien will get you the workbook. Dami, if I'm saying it correctly, sorry if I butcher people's names, guys. I believe I have sent that to you. You can check in your spam. Also, James will send it to you so that you have, just in case, that you can find it again. Okay? So, if you are hopping on, you haven't, hop down below. Let me know that you're here. Let me know how you're feeling. Thumbs up, all of that. Please do so. And we are about to begin tonight's first day of the Heal Your Chakras Intensive, and I'm really, really, really thrilled because I have some awesome messages, again, that go with the shifts of what is happening on the earth right now. Okay. So last thing is tomorrow at 7 p.m. we will begin the day 2 of the Heal Your Chakras Intensive. So remember, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, at same place, same time. And if you come here live for every day, then for the 5 days, and you do the homework thread at the end, then you can qualify to win the scholarship for the Lightworkers Acceleration Program. And there's a little bit more information about that in the emails that I have sent to you. Okay? Again, if you have any questions, comment down below, and we shall begin. Yay. Okay. Today, we're going to really talk about the 4 pillars. Now, what are the 4 pillars? This may seem so simple. You may have your own ways of doing it. I'm going to get deeper and deeper into why each of these are so important. But these are so important, and I will explain why. And I know I just said that. Because this is what's going to get you to the next level. This is what many light workers and healers are missing in their foundation. They need this for their foundation in order to really grow, in order to reach their full potential. And again, I'm super excited that we even have the possibility on a mass level to reach our full potential. So, woo! Yay! Okay. So the first one we're going to go over is heart-centered, okay? This is the first pillar. So the 4 pillars are heart-centered, setting a sacred space, grounding, and surrendering. We're going to go into the why, and I'm going to go even deeper than just the regular why, guys. That also has to do with what's happening today. And I'm also going to go into the how. And if you notice in the Lightworkers and Healers tribe, in the uploaded in the files, I believe I did upload the other techniques for these 4 pillars, but I wanted to go into the why. So today, again, we're learning the foundations that we need in order to exceed. And then as we continue each day, we're building up into the technique. The technique is on the 4th day. The 5th day is recap and even more information on how to use it. And every day I'm going to add a tidbit of what's going on in the earth as the messages come. It's almost like a live news video, like I'm here live now with this happening. So it's same, but except it's in this spiritual realm, right? So beginning is heart-centered. If you do not have your handy-dandy workbook out, please pull that out. I'm going to be working with the workbook also. This is how I work. I have the workbook. That way you are on task with everything, and that way you're able to follow along, okay? So we begin with heart-centered. Now, I do have a video. If you look in the Tuesday live trainings, more information on getting heart-centered. And you can always look in that in the units tab under, again, Tuesday live trainings. And that will give you more information on why it's so important to go into heart-centered. And I'll also go deeper right now. So number 1 is the heart speaks the truth. The heart speaks the truth. So when we're in, right now, most of us are still in the 3D, or I should say many of us. Many of us also, light workers, are transcending into the 5D perception. And if you've seen the videos, you know what I'm talking about that I've posted recently on this group. So in the 3D is very much about duality, about separation. In the 3D, we have our hearts and our brains, our minds disconnected. So with our minds, we have the ego, right? The ego is about beliefs. It's about programming, like societal programming, and it's about patterns, right? Beliefs, patterns, thoughts, programming. The heart has a lot more to do with emotion. It's more on the emotional side, which also has to do with the wounded inner, or the inner child, working with your inner children, working with feelings. So with the heart, because many of us are separated, because many of us have not fully integrated the 5D information, the 5D, gone into that 5D energy where our minds and our hearts will connect, will be one, where we don't have to worry, like, okay, are we in our heads? Am I in my head now? Like, am I, just thinking about this? Is it coming from fear? Is it coming from some type of defense mechanism based on wounded ego because of some wound that I have inside? Or is it coming from my heart? Is it coming from truth? Is it coming from love? Right now, that's where we're like, okay, am I in my heart? Am I in my head? Is my head taking over? Is that feeling really true? Is that feeling that I'm feeling, is it true? Is it coming from my heart? Or is it based on fear? So this is what can be really tricky when we're dealing with the heart and when we're dealing with trying to stay heart-centered. Now, before I didn't mention this whenever I talk about heart-centered, unless I was talking to somebody in particular, because I didn't want to scare people. I didn't want to freak people out. I wanted people to begin to trust themselves, to really trust their hearts and trust getting that intuition. And this is something I really work on with people, is learning how to really trust your intuition and get messages directly and just absolutely know and trust that they're true. What I didn't say before is that this can actually be really freaking tricky, which is why I'm giving you the tools for you to be most successful. Why is this tricky? Okay, some people, light workers, as you can tell, light workers, we go through learning so much, right? We go through so many trials and tribulations, some people say, or soul growth opportunities, okay? So for me, for example, for some of my clients, for example, we have to learn about manipulation, how the mind can trick you, the energies that can trick you, okay? And this I've learned, and I also teach, that the manipulation, all of that, some people really have to go through that. They really have to learn those subtle energies As in, okay, am I in my heart? Am I in my head? Why? Because what we learn in our soul growth opportunities is what we're going to be helping other people with. It's what we needed. So some people may get answers like this and never had an issue with learning, okay, is that my mind? Well, you'll have that, but is that manipulation? How is that really in my heart, or is that just around my heart and trying to trick me? So some of you may have gone through a lot of stuff with manipulation. And I haven't mentioned this before because again, I didn't want to scare people, but it's now time to speak the full truth. So if you feel that you've learned a lot about manipulation, it's actually a good thing, guys. It's a good thing because it's a soul growth opportunity, because you're learning how those subtle energies work and you're learning how to navigate that. So for this, it is specifically really, really, really important to learn, are you actually in your heart? Are you actually coming from a place of pure love? Or did you slip out of your heart? Did your mind take over? Did the feeling come out of your heart, and whatever tool or technique you were using, did you come out of it and it's actually something tricking you? Okay? It's not something that it's not something to fear. And again, this is why I didn't really mention this before, because I didn't want somebody to fear this, because it is a soul growth opportunity. Some people may not have to go through that manipulation. They may have to learn how to work with if they're in their head versus in their hearts, but once they get into their hearts, like boom, they got it. Okay? So you'll know, or you'll get to know where you are with that learning. And again, this is a good thing, guys, because it's soul growth opportunity, because if you're meant to learn about manipulation, if you're meant to notice those tricky energies, those slight, subtle energies, then that means that you needed it for your soul growth in some way, shape, or form. You're going to be using it in your purpose, whether it's directly or indirectly. Okay? So, number one, we want to be in our hearts because of that. Number two, our heads, when we're thinking about the future, when we're thinking about the past, or we're in our heads, we are out of our bodies and we are out of our hearts. Like I said in the beginning, when I'm teaching about all of this stuff, I am not preparing as much. Why? Because I'm learning not to control. I'm learning to come from the heart and to really, really follow my intuition, follow my guidance. With that being said, when we are in our hearts, our heart center, our heart space is neutral ground. Okay? So when we do go in our hearts, we find that place of neutrality. We find that place where in the midst of all the chaos, in the midst of all the panic, it is a place we can go to find peace. It may be harder whenever we have all that panic and all that chaos coming in, especially if we're empathic and we tend to take on other people's emotions, right? This is where we can find that neutrality, that the truth. We can find the truth in here. We can find non-judgment. We can find that it's not black or white, it's all. It's not right or wrong, it's all, which is where we're going into the 5D. So, let me know what you feel about this. If you have any questions, again, comment down below. I will try to get to your questions as we go. So, another thing I wanted to say about heart-centered, and this is kind of where we're going. We're really learning how to go into our heart center, how to trust our hearts. And when we do finally integrate fully into the 5D, even though many of us are connecting right now and really integrating that energy, many light workers, it doesn't matter where you are on your journey, you're exactly where you need to be. But this is an example of where we're going. Last year, whenever I went to Europe, I was I was in the UK, traveling by myself in a car that I just learned how to drive because it was standard. Standard, and I was only used to automatic, in a place I didn't know. I was trying to go to the Isle of Skye. I was traveling for 19 days by myself. What I was doing, I was listening to my heart, and if I got, okay, turn right, I'll turn right. I don't know what's there. So there was this one time, for example, that I got, okay, turn right. It was this random road and nothing was there. It was fields. It's like, okay, that's pretty sketchy. Why would I go that way? But my heart said to. So I did. And I was looking for a place to sleep, guys. That's another thing. I was looking for a place to sleep. I didn't have anything planned. I was going by my heart. And then I got, okay, turn left. And immediately when I did that, I found a campground. Just so happens they didn't have a space. I let them know I didn't have another place to sleep. So can I just sleep in my car? And they're like, well, do you have a tent? Yes. And they ended up making a campground for me, which was amazing because as I was looking for spaces for campgrounds, there was nothing available. So I found the one place that was able to let me pitch a tent there. And this is what I mean. And like I said, I went down this random road. There was no signs, nothing. And I was guided exactly where I needed to go. This is an extreme. I don't expect anybody to go to Europe, drive a car they've never done, drive on the wrong side of the road, all of that. But this is where we're going. This is where what we're learning is to really trust in our hearts. And I know I spent a lot of time on heart centered because it's so important. So important. Celine said, you're amazing. Thank you for the grounding opportunity. I needed this right now. Thank you so much, Celine, for coming. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Now, how do we go into our hearts? I did, again, post all of the techniques in the 4-pillar techniques thing. Today, we're just going to use the technique of thinking of a child, a baby, a child that has unconditional love. We're learning the unconditional love because many of us or most of us come from conditional love because we were taught that. And a lot of times, even though we feel like maybe we think it's unconditional, there can be some subconscious wounding which makes it conditional. So what we do is we think of something that is unconditional, a child, a baby, a pet. It's like they have nothing but to love you. You want to think of that love or think of that love you have for them because they're just so innocent. And then you want to feel that love, feel it in your heart, go into your heart as much as possible. Stay in that heart center. And this is where you're going to really learn how to go into your heart and really use this to really get that guidance, to find that answer that you're looking for. Okay? This is a major step to that. And this is where people get so confused is because they don't know when to trust themselves. So this is what I'm giving you the tools for. And it takes practice. And the people that have been working with me in the Lightworkers Path program, which is changing, and I just told y'all the new program, and the people that have worked with me one-on-one, they have come so far with learning and getting messages directly. And this is what I want for each and all of you. So I'm giving you the tools to do so. So that is just one technique. Sometimes I have to use multiple techniques. Sometimes I have to get away from everything and go in nature and go somewhere where I can really tune into my heart because everything else is just too chaotic. So you have to listen to yourself with that. Okay. So we're going to go into sacred space. So sacred space is for protection. Sacred space is it's like this higher, it's going into this higher energy. So we want to set, before we do any type of healing work, before we work on ourselves, before we let anybody else work on us, right? If we go to anybody, before we meditate, we want to set up these 4 pillars so that we can go into our heart, so that we can get the truth. Now, what does the sacred space do? When we set up the sacred space, it takes away all the energies that are not serving us in that moment. It clears it out. We have this, say, bubble around us, for example. Our energy raises because we're in such a sacred space. And that gives us the opportunity, as we're in that sacred space, it gives us the opportunity to go into our hearts. The higher our vibration is, the easier it is for us to get into our hearts and to get the direct messages or guidance that we need to continue in our spiritual journey. So setting up a sacred space is so important. And guys, this is really important. Again, if you're getting someone else to work on you, a lot of times, many healers, many healers do this, and as you continue to learn and grow, this is important for you if you know you're going to be helping other people, because on a subconscious level, many healers and light workers, we can come, even though we may not know it, come from a subconscious wounding place when we're working on other people. So that's why if we're working on other people, say if you are somebody who does work on other people, or you're planning to get there, we want to set up our sacred space around ourselves. We want to call in their guides to set up a sacred space around them so that they receive only what's of their highest benefit, and you give only what's of your highest benefit. And if you're meditating, if you're journaling, you're in the space that you're only receiving what's of your highest benefit. Okay? It's, some people may use this sacred space as something that they put on all the time for protection. It can be used like that, but it's more for the times when you want to work on yourself. There's other types of ways to protect yourself. And again, if you want to use this on a daily basis, and you want to extend the time because you're going into the hospital and there's a lot of energies, whatever the reason. So this is really important. Okay, so how do we do this? There's a couple of ways that we can do this. What I teach in here, and that is the easiest way, and this is why I teach it to a mass majority, is there's actually two ways. Number one, you can come prayer form, and it doesn't have to be religious, okay? Prayer is in a bunch of religions, and it's spiritual, right? So when you have prayer, so this is a mudra. It is a hand position that has meaning and holds energy, okay? It holds a certain energy. And there's multiple, and you'll notice a couple of my pictures have different mudras that mean different things and that support energy flowing through the body in a certain way. In prayer form, it is in front of your heart. What I like to do is slightly open up my hands, so like this, and I have it on my heart. So prayer form is saying that it's coming from your heart and that you're saying a prayer. So why do people say prayers? Prayers, again, coming from your heart. And it automatically means that you're asking for something. It's like you're setting that intention, you're asking for something, but only what's of your highest benefit will come back. Only what's of your highest benefit will you receive. So this is important, okay? So if you don't feel comfortable with prayer, if you've had too much wounds, say with any certain religions, that maybe you haven't healed yet and you can't use the word prayer, or you attach a negative connotation to it, well, there's an alternative, okay? The alternative is setting the intention and asking your angels, guides, helpers, only those of your highest benefit, to set a sacred space around you. And you can say in your sacred space, if you want to make it intentional, if you want to have certain things in it for protection, for guidance, you can say whatever you want for it. So, but at the end, you want to attach only if it's of my highest benefit. Only if it's of my highest benefit. Now, for people who have already seen these videos or have worked with me, they know how important and how much I drill this into them. Only if it's of my highest benefit. Or if you're calling in your angels, guides, helpers, only those of my highest benefit. So what I'm doing is saying, like, I don't want you here if you're not of my highest benefit. I don't want to receive what I'm putting out there if it's not of my highest benefit. Okay? Because a lot of times when we're setting intentions, it's harder to come from the heart. So if you feel good with prayer form, you say, I pray for to set up sacred space around me, and then you could set a time for as long as this video for tonight. There we go. So this is learning how to trust your angels, guides, and helpers, and you're giving it out into the universe, into spirit, into source, into God, whatever you believe in, and trusting that this sacred space is being set up. And then if you don't want to use the prayer form, you say, angels, guides, helpers, I ask angels, guides, helpers, only those of my highest benefit, I ask to create a sacred space around me, only what's of my highest benefit. For example, for as long as this video, for an hour, for the day. If you do the day, You can do the day. Okay. But as long as I meditate, you can set any time length you want to it. So this is the simplest way to set it up. Now, a lot of people have difficulty trusting whether or not whether or not they're actually receiving that sacred space. So this one might take a little bit of time. It might take a little bit of work to really go with. If you don't trust your angels, guides, helpers, if you don't believe that it's going to be there, I'm getting, even if you doubt it, it's going to be there. That was the message that I just got for you just now. Even if you doubt it, it is going to be there. Even if you don't believe it's going to be there, it will be there. Okay. So that is sacred space. So that's number 2. Number 3 is grounding. Grounding. People are talking about this all the time because it's that important, and it's that important to come from the heart. It's that important to come from love, right? With grounding, I feel like there's something new coming with grounding that I haven't taught yet, so I'll let y'all know as it comes in. Interesting. Okay, I'll wait until it comes in. With grounding, the reason why we want to ground is we want to come into our body. We want to get out of our heads. We want to stop thinking about the future. Oh, that's another thing. I've talked about control. I've talked about anxiety. I've talked about panic in the last Tuesday live training with the coronavirus and all of that. And that is because it is fear of what is unknown, fear of what is going to come, right? Because we feel like we need to control, because that's what we learned. Because we learned that we couldn't trust. And now we're coming full circle and learning how to trust again. Okay? We're learning how, just as we're children, as we're babies, as we're kids, we come straight from the heart. And then society tells us, oh, no, you gotta have the brains, and you can't trust, and you have to control every aspect. This is where we're coming out of it. So, with that being said, grounding is bringing us back into our bodies. Now, for all of you light workers and healers, and I'm going to get into this even more so, that it's time to step into our power. I've said that over and over. What does that mean? That's really getting into our gifts. It doesn't matter how far out there the gifts are, okay? So say you're learning, for example, one client is, I think I've used this one because it's the one that's coming to my head, is learning how to astral travel. Or one client is learning that they can harness that creative energy within them, that creative energy is within them, and that they want to learn how to, and this is actually a video that I posted up there of me and how I was working with a client about how to bring your purpose and your gifts into the world. The major thing about grounding is this is so important for manifesting. Yeah, this is what's coming through, and there's going to be a little more. It's so important for manifesting, because what we're doing, light workers and healers, you, people who are stepping forward, people who are stepping into your shoes that you know you need to bring to this earth right now, because this earth needs it. And it's such a powerful time because we can reach our full potential. Like, I can't even explain that. It's amazing that we haven't even reached the peak of our potential. Most of us haven't even reached the peak of our potential. And that we can fully step into our potential now. And this is what I'm here to bring you. Okay. So with this being said, if we want to, whatever we're supposed to bring out into the world, whatever our gifts are, if we know it energetically, if we know it inside of us, when we ground ourselves, we are learning to ground that energy. Because when we ground it, when we bring it, number one, grounding is coming inside of this body, being in the here and now. And when we ground this energy, we're able to bring it into this body, and this body is our connection to the earth. So bring it into the earth, and that is what materializes it. This is where we're going. We're bringing this stuff we know, whether it's here on earth, whether it's galactic, whether it's, you're working with the Arcturians, you're working with different celestial beings, whether you're working with nature, whatever it is, we're learning how to bring it. Number one, the first step is into our body, and number two is into this earth to materialize it and to manifest. Now, this is a little bit about what's coming with the 5D perception and with 5D eventually when we get there, as the mass majority does get into 5D. But right now it's a 5D perception because not all of us are there yet. We're learning how to step into that part of us. We're learning how to step into the 5D perception right now to fully accept ourselves. Many of us are blocking that out right now, guys. Many of us are scared, or we have stuff to face that we're not fully integrating this part. So we're not fully in the 5D yet, but we're in the 5D perception, especially for people who are facing our fears and stepping into that. So I had to point to this. It doesn't matter what energies that we're bringing in, whether it's galactic, whether you're working with celestial beings, whatever it is, we're learning how to bring that into the earth to change into the 5D or 5D perception, which I'm super excited about. I just my whole energy shifted and I feel like I'm up there right now just talking about that. Okay, so with the grounding, how do we do this? I've always taught, and many people have taught, imagine roots coming from the bottom of your feet, going into the earth and really attaching into the earth. However, right now, in this moment, actually, okay, so last Heal Your Chakras Intensive, I taught the roots, imagine the roots actually coming from technically coming up. The way I taught it was different. But having the roots coming from your crown chakra, which is going through every chakra into the earth, and then really rooting there to bring our energies there, to bring that higher vibration into the earth so that we can help make the changes. But something's different. All right, I have something new for you. I don't even know what it is yet, but we shall see as we go. Okay, what I'm feeling right now is all of the energy. Okay, so imagine, here's a technique. Imagine all of your being, all of your, DNA is what I'm getting. All of your DNA sending out signals, sending out energies. What's the word? This is interesting. Imagine all of your DNA rooting. This is amazing. Rooting. Okay, so you can sit there in a meditation and imagine all of your DNA rooting, coming out, roots coming out from your DNA, however you imagine that, however you see it. It matters what works for you. Coming out, down your body, all the way down your body, every cell, every DNA, really going down your feet and into the earth, really rooting into the earth, where not only is it just pulling your vortexes, your chakras, which the chakra system is changing in a bit, but imagine that all going down, okay? All of those little roots going down, or tendrils, or energy, however you see it, into the earth, and connect that way. God, this feels good. I don't know if anybody's doing this. Let me know if you've done it so far. Let me see how much time. I'll give you oh, dang, guys. This is something you can work on tonight. So, again, from your DNA, rooting every cell of your body, from your head, from your arms, from your fingertips, all the way down into your toes, into the earth, root yourself down. So that is a new rooting technique. Now, the last part of it is surrendering. So surrendering is huge. Surrendering is not being separated. Separation is something where we don't have the power. We're not separated, guys. So the idea of surrendering is not separation. It's becoming one with. So what does this mean? It means you're completely surrendering, becoming one with the universe, source, God, whatever you believe in, that higher vibration, that energy, okay? It's getting out of your head, stepping away, like your head, letting that ego, let's say, take control. And we're asking for guidance, or we're surrendering. We're becoming one with. So anytime you're doing work on yourself, you're meditating, you are trying to go into the deep, into the depths. We might go a little bit over tonight, but that's okay. Going into the depths, this is really important, is that many of us are not accepting, not in this group. I feel most of this group is taking the steps to accept what, many of us are, I just lost my train of thought. Many of us in this group are accepting and going through the steps of what we need to integrate this new energy, but there's things that are going to be coming up, and this is to let you know, and this is why I posted this in the group, that we have fears to face. If we want to fully integrate this energy, we have those fears to face. How do we step into those fears? How do we really go into those fears? Surrendering. Because surrendering helps to take away the ego, take away the defense mechanisms that hides it from us, and we surrender, surrender, surrender. And we keep repeating surrendering, okay? We surrender, and then we ask only what's of our highest benefit, to be shown only what's of our highest benefit, to see the truth, only what's of our highest benefit, and to step into that place of fear, to step into that place, to feel it, to not go within it, to not fall into the depths, but feel it, experience it, and then learn what you need to do, let it go. But that is really important to go into that, because once we let go of the things, this will be for tomorrow. I'll have a surprise for you tomorrow with something I just got. But with that being said, we want to surrender. We want to take the mind and the ego out of it. It's letting go of control. This is surrendering, is letting go of control. This is the huge thing, the huge theme that we're learning right now with the coronavirus, with the economic downturn, with not knowing what the hell is going to happen in this chaos, right? And I absolutely have been reading your comments, and I've absolutely been loving them. I haven't been commenting because I have not as much time, but I will get back to you. So what you want to do, how to surrender, you choose it. You choose to surrender it. You say it like a child. When we're children, when we're like 3 or 4 and nothing is stopping us, we put our heart into everything. So if we're doing something, our heart is fully there. We're choosing from that moment of what we want, and we choose it with all conviction. If there's something that we want, we choose it with all conviction. We have nothing holding us back. We have no inhibitions. This is the surrendering that you need to use to go into that fear, to go into the truth that maybe you don't want to see because it can be harder. But in order to integrate all of those shifts from that we're going through, we need to learn how to surrender. We need to learn how to step into whatever it is that we're going to be facing, surrendering it as if we were a child with no inhibitions, with nothing stopping us. And if we have to say it over and over again to surrender, then do so. Okay? But this is so important, guys. So important, because we're letting go of control. We're learning how to surrender. And again, surrendering means connecting with the all. So it's not something of letting go of our power. It's not letting go of our power. It's connecting with the all. It's getting even more. Okay? So this is not something detached. It is not the third dimensional duality that we have, that there's something separate from us, because there's not, even though that's how we perceive things. That's how our reality is. It's about being connected with the all. God, source, universe, whatever you believe. So, you can also say it like a prayer form. You can say, I pray to surrender. I pray to surrender. Whatever you feel that's good for you, whether it's prayer, whether it's just choosing, do so. Again, these are the 4 pillars that are imperative to anybody, to any spiritual person's growth, to any spiritual person, to any person who wants to go further, to really step into their power. These 4 pillars are the foundation that you need so that you get the truth, so that you do step into your shoes, and so that you can reach your full potential. Your full potential. Guys, I'm so excited. Like we have not, like a handful of people have not, have been able to reach their full potential in this lifetime, but a handful. It is now in the mass. it is now where we can reach our full potential. I've reached mine and I'm like ecstatic about it. And this is why I'm here, is to let people and help people reach theirs, help you reach yours. Okay? I'm so freaking grateful, so grateful. And I'm really excited that each of you joined. Now, here's the thing. I've given you the 4 pillars. It is your job to do these 4 pillars before each video that we have. Okay? Practice these 4 pillars. If you don't have something similar, you don't have your own way yet, do what I've given you. Okay? Practice, practice, practice. That's what makes us stronger with it. Do this before each video so that you can be prepared. You can be in your heart centered. You can be in your heart. You can have your sacred space set up. You can surrender fully, and you can be grounded so that any of the information that is to come, the exciting information that I'm going to be giving you because we're in the shifts and I'm getting messages and guidance as we do this stuff, which is why I'm not preparing so much. If you're already in that space, you're going to receive so much more. So do this before each video, okay? Do the 4 pillars before each video. Whew, that was a lot. With that being said, if you do want to qualify for the Amazon gift card, $20 for the Amazon gift card, because you came live, because you participated. This is really important, guys, the participation. And I normally have time to go over a few of the comments. Tonight I didn't, but I've been watching them. So participating and going into, after we get off, is going to be posted day 1 homework. Going into that and posting the, commenting what today is, choose one of the techniques and comment your experience. So posting in the homework, and then you're going to be number 1 step closer to qualifying for the scholarship that I told you about. It's also a little bit more detailed in your email that you got with the workbook. And number 2, you're going to qualify for the prizes that we have each day for the 5 days of the Heal Your Chakras. Okay, and we have the bonuses. But okay, so the last part is, I believe that's it. Tomorrow, again, it's at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I'm so happy each of you. So Carrie, James will, or I'll, either one, we will send you the workbook that has all 4 of the pillars. And I'll also have all 4, I have, Carrie, I'll tag you in that PDF that I have with a bunch of techniques, for different techniques for the 4 pillars. And you can also watch this video again to follow along. Diane says, isn't it so amazing that you talked about these major shifts taking place and this was all before our pandemic crisis? Yeah. You knew that the shift was so important, and it really coincides with what is actually going on in the world. Because I was receiving the messages. Thank you so much for that, Diane. I was receiving the messages to prepare y'all. I've been prepared. I've been really prepared for these shifts, and that's why I was able to reach my potential. And I've reached my potential recently. Like, I've gotten up there, but I've definitely reached my potential recently because of these shifts. And I've been prepared so that I can help assist each and every one of you and whoever needs it. And so thank you, Diane. I am here to share the shifts, that the messages that I receive with these shifts, when they're going on, when you need them. That is what I'm here for. So thank you, everybody, for joining. I will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I have extra information that I will be giving you, and I'm really excited. And thank you, everybody. Have an amazing night. Don't forget to do the homework if you want to qualify for the $20 Amazon gift card. I think I've come in on this after others. Okay, yes, Carrie, we will definitely get you the workbook. Definitely. All right, anybody, if you still have questions or comments, you can comment down below, and we will definitely get to them. All right, everybody, have an amazing night, and thank you all for coming. All right, and yeah, thanks. Bye.